everybody. Welcome to Casual Creeps, episode of Gorehead and the Wiener. The last movie we watched was, I think, say more casual than this. Now we're starting to get into
I
a
was
little bit
very
more
casual being Teen
story.
Witch.
That's what I mean. Last one was Teen Witch, but today we're doing Congo. Still very casual,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a slight, it's a step up a little
Well,
bit.
for the next little while, I'm going to. I as a small boy, I don't know. I grew up in the era where animal attack movies had a rise in popularity again when I was like, 12,
Yeah.
13 years old. For whatever reason, there's just a ton of like movies about animals or insects and stuff like going around killing people or running amok. And
It's
so,
so It's funny because I think that was a little bit before my era of
yeah,
when I
yeah.
was watching movies. So for me, it was like the natural disaster movie craze was
Yes,
like
yes.
my era, and
Mm-hmm,
yours was like
mm-hmm.
because when you mentioned you're just gonna go and look at some goofy animal attack videos, I was thinking like, what do you mean like funnyordie.com, like people getting attacked by like a beaver or something.
Don't you just like weird people getting attacked by animals?
Like real footage. So, is that what we're
I
doing
just
now?
I just love watching animal attack videos.
That's our movie.
Well, there
Uh,
probably was like a VHS tape that existed that you could rent that was probably called Animal Attacks, and it probably had like a lion attacking a dude on the cover.
Probably.
It's like also
And it
grew up in
was,
the period of those weird videos as well.
yeah, I
You
guess,
could rent
yeah.
like the extreme skateboarding videos where people
Oh,
just get
yeah.
hurt over and over.
That was a big thing. Going
Yeah.
to, I even like skateboard shops were super big, and then you would just walk in and they'd be playing those videos
Yeah.
of people hurting themselves.
Why would anyone
Yeah.
want to skateboard when that's the only thing people know about skateboarding is that you
Still,
generally hurt yourself really badly?
because it's associated with the music I listened to at that age, I always wanted to skateboard. And the one time I tried it, I hated it. I never did it again. So I appreciate it. I appreciate people that skateboard. Just yeah,
It's an
not for
amazing
me.
skill to have. It's just I would never ever wanted to do it due to the horrible pain that it seemed to inflict on you. Like that doesn't seem
Yes.
worth it at all.
Nope.
But that's just
But yeah, I guess back
but
to Congo.
but
Um
yes. So we're gonna be watching some
this
animal attack movies, and Congo is the first one.
this one, oh my god. Let me just read off the list of actors that star in this
Oh,
movie
it's a
and just
star-studded affair.
try to picture what this movie looks like, and then we will go on to ruin what the movie actually is. So it has Laura Linney, and she's in what's that
Ozark
TV show?
of
Ozark.
Ozark fame. She's the mom in Ozark. She's
Yes,
also in
Ozark.
Ninja Turtles coming out of the shadows as the
Ah,
not probably
okay.
one that she wants to be remembered for.
There's Ernie Hudson.
The Black Ghostbuster. Unfortunately, that's how
That's
pretty
how
much
he's known,
99%. If you just say the
sadly.
name Ernie Hudson, unfortunately, I don't think the average person will know who that is.
And there's Bruce Campbell
Yes,
and the
Evil Dead.
star, not the real star of the movie, but in my heart, Tim
Lovely.
Curry.
Oh, he's the best. He's the best part of the movie. He's the part that I remember the most.
Oh, me too. I mean, I was sad that they didn't utilize Bruce Campbell that well because he's just barely in the movie, but
Yeah, he only has but a brief cameo. Tim Curry has an awesome Eastern European accent.
he can actually keep his accent, even though it's like a
Oh
terrible
man, yeah, Ernie
accent.
Hudson.
Ernie Hudson, he goes from British to American to
Kind of
I don't know,
African.
kind of African. It's all over the
Most of the time,
place.
it just
He
sounds
could
like
be
Ernie Hudson.
he might be trying to do like a South African thing, and it didn't work out very well.
No.
The South African has a slight British sound to it,
Yeah, you can sound very British coming from South Africa.
but
Sorry if that offends any South African people.
I know someone from South Africa, so
So do I. so it's
Hey,
fine.
it's probably the same person.
Very well could
um,
be.
but anyways, so we can get into the movie now. I don't know. Do you want to do like a slight introduction to it? Do you have anything prepared?
I don't know if you really need like. Well, if you just want to like a little introduction slash overall thing of the movie, it's just essentially about scientists who all come together for different reasons to go into the Congo, and along the way they bring a sign talking ape with them that has dreams of this like ancient civilization that existed in the forests, the jungles of the Congo. And so they all go down there with a tiny army with a shitload of guns. And they come across an army of albino hybrid gorillas that are like hyper intelligent and can like formulate plans and attack in patterns, and it essentially just turns into aliens with albino gorillas
Oh,
fighting in this like ancient stone city. And there's also a natural disaster element with a ticking clock of a volcano that's going to blow up the whole area too. So it's,
so
yeah.
cool.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's
It's
very, I guess,
there's so much to do in
late
that movie.
90s. Very late 90s. It's like I was gonna say almost the 2000s, but no, it's a 90s still.
Yeah, I think it's 95 actually. I think it was
It is.
yeah, mid 90s.
So we start out, the first part of the film in is it in no,
It's in
we
the
see like
jungle.
this expedition going into the jungle, and
Yeah.
you're finding out that basically these researchers are looking for these
Diamond.
specific diamonds, and they've set up camp in the middle of this Congo jungle, and
Why do
they have to
they want the diamonds so they can power their laser beams?
it's a communications laser. Whatever the fuck that means. And then when they actually use it, it's just a laser that blows shit up.
Yeah, Bruce
But
Campbell
no,
lights a
it's
little bush on fire at the beginning of the movie. He's like,
yeah.
he just
So
lets it
they're
go.
in this jungle. There's Bruce Campbell and some other guy, and Bruce Campbell is calling back to his headquarters, which is called Travicom.
Yeah, because his name is like Houston Travis, the
Yeah.
evil white business, southern white
Oh,
businessman.
I call him Texas.
Texas might as well. Well, yeah. We just wanted to call him Houston, Texas, while we were watching the
That's
movie.
what it was.
Yeah, just call him
Call him
Houston,
Texas.
Texas, and he's based out of Houston in the movie too, so it would have been perfect.
Oh. So they're reporting back, and he's got this like fake diamond in this laser beam, and he's like, it's a bit rough, but I'll show you how it works. And he just like shoots the laser, and it lights a bush on fire, and then
Yeah.
the communication is lost, and so they don't really know what happens. And it was like, okay.
It's 90s satellite technology. They can only like talk for like 15 minutes, like every 2 days or
Yeah, and they
something.
have to bring satellites with them into the jungle because there's nothing else really to connect to.
They don't have like world phones
So
yet or anything like that.
you find out that Charles, who's the
God, I can't
main dude,
remember any of their names
Bruce
in the movie.
Campbell. Bruce
Okay,
Campbell's
fine.
Charles.
Yeah, Bruce
And then
Campbell, he decides to take a break, eat a little chocolate, and that
yeah,
lures in the albino gorillas.
yes, yeah. He like his friend goes in first, and then later he
His head gets
finds
thrown out. Doesn't the monkey
he finds
throw
his
his friend's head at him?
eyeball.
Oh, yeah, he throws his eyeball at him. Yeah. Yeah, the
His
gorilla throws the
eyeball,
eyeball at Bruce Campbell. He's like, stop
and
goofing
then
around.
stop coming around, man.
And then the
Get back out here.
albino
And then
gorilla murders Bruce Campbell.
I think he might find his head. I don't know. Maybe not. No, that's later.
No,
That's
it's just
later.
the eyeball. Well, you find Bruce Campbell later. I'm not sure about the friend. Oh no, maybe the friend's head comes thrown out later. One person's head gets thrown
Yeah,
by an albino gorilla at somebody.
we're very good at
That's all I gotta say
summarizing
about that.
movies.
Essentially, the whole beginning of the movie is just like boring bullshit. It's like the setting up the story, and like there's like a talking gorilla. Like these two scientists like teach a gorilla to sign language, and she uses like a little Stephen Hawking's robot to like talk with her
But
signing.
before we get there, though, if we should wrap up the first part because they turn on the satellite again, they're able to
Oh
connect,
gosh, is there something else?
and yes, and they see that the entire campsite is strewn with dead bodies. So that is what initiates the main girl, Karen.
Laura
Karen?
Linney.
Yeah, Laura Linney, to
These
go
people
and
don't need names. Their story arcs are
yeah,
like
no,
pretty
it
much
doesn't matter.
non-existent. They're there
But
for
she
purpose.
basically wants to go to potentially rescue her fiance, who's Bruce Campbell.
They
And
they're not even like fiance. She just says randomly, "He's like we almost got married once." It's like
I
they're
don't know,
not
like
even
they're not
engaged.
setting characters up at all. It's just there's no
That's because they
point.
don't matter. All these characters are just like I don't like they give them like the thinnest of reasons. It's like the two doctors are like, oh, we have this dumbass idea. We've trained one gorilla to sign language and sound like Stephen Hawking. So we're gonna release that thing back into the wild with all the normal gorillas, and then it's gonna teach the gorillas how to sign language, and then the humans can just talk to gorillas and find out what gorillas are chatting about.
I feel like
that's
we're getting ahead of ourselves.
but
We
that's the
still
whole
need to
plan.
give
It's so stupid.
yes. We need more context. So
Terrible.
getting there. Um, before we get to the gorilla part, I'm almost done. But basically,
We need to get to the gorilla.
I know you're really excited about the gorilla. It's
It's so
just a
dumb.
few more minutes.
We're almost at the gorilla.
We're almost there. Don't worry, Chris.
When are we gonna
So
get to the fireworks factory?
then basically, um, yeah. So the owner of this Travis
Houston
company,
Travis.
Houston Travis, he
Oh,
is also the father of Bruce Campbell,
is
and
he?
he's
What?
yes.
I thought he was just this like employee. He doesn't
No,
give a
it's his
shit about him.
father. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
I don't even think that's like even really discussed in the movie because
Because
he
he's
doesn't
oh
give a
yeah,
shit
because she's
about him.
like because yeah, exactly that's why she's so upset because she's like, well, if you let me go on this expedition, I will also search for diamonds, but if you give me any indication that you do not give a shit
Yeah.
about your employees, I'm out of here. And you can see on this like owner dude's face that he does not care at all.
Well, I guess it makes Laura Linney like a little less stupid for trusting him if Bruce Campbell's his son. Because I just thought like it makes Laura Linney look like a complete idiot that she trusts someone named Houston Travis to not care about the diamonds over a person.
Yes.
It's like, of course
Yeah,
he
because
cares more about the diamonds.
yeah. So anyways, he's
Okay,
yeah, Houston
Revelations,
Travis is a
Congo
piece of shit.
Revelations.
And that's the intro. You're like, "Oh shit. Some stuff went down in the Congos and Karen's going to go and save the day." And at this point we don't know
And Bruce Campbell
if
might not be
Bruce
dead.
Campbell's dead or not, but we already spoiled
I
that. He's
spoiled
dead.
that. He's definitely dead.
Immediately spoiled. And now we get to cut to Peter Elliott, the primatologist with
That doesn't sound like a real scientific title.
he's like
Primatologist.
working at a university or something and he's got his primate named Amy that he's taught how
Amy,
to
man.
sign
Amy,
language.
man. Amy. You're gonna
And
hear that
his
name
like
a lot.
revolutionary thing with her is that they have this glove that she wears attached
It
to like
looks
a
like a
robot
power glove.
power glove. Yeah. And it basically as she sign languages the same things that this ape actor can do, this chimpanzee actor can do. It just says words in a robot voice. Da-da-da.
It's a
She
little
she
person
brings her
inside of
arm
a
up and
suit.
then yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of hilarious.
it's the same
Uh,
motion over and over again to say many different words.
yes, exactly. And that that glove, the power glove thing, that gives the robot voice is clearly only utilized so that the audience knows what she's saying.
Yeah,
But it's
otherwise.
supposed to be like this revolutionary thing that they're doing with the. But I
Science.
guess I don't know. So they go to some sort of a convention where she's like on stage and he's presenting how
He needs
cool this whole
money
thing
for
is.
his grant so he can.
Yeah. And then oh, we also missed
It's like,
one other part before this because Amy is doing all these drawings of the jungle.
and she has a stupid nightmare.
And she has a bunch of nightmares. And it's funny because like there's all of these drawings on the
Oh my
wall.
god, yeah.
And it's like literally every one is of trees. It's
Yeah,
different portions of the jungle. And finally, Peter Elliott looks at it. He's like, "Oh, I think she might be drawing the jungle." It's like, "The fuck?
I
Really?
know.
You just
Again,
got this now?"
almost every character in the movie has a PhD, yet they're all so stupid.
So stupid. It's like maybe after the first one, you'd be like, "Oh, that looks like a tree." But if she keeps drawing it, it's like, okay, maybe she
They also
misses
know that she's a
trees.
gorilla from the Congo, so
Yeah.
if she's going to draw anything, it would be that, because what the hell else does she know? She's a goddamn gorilla. She's drawing
Yeah.
a perfect drawing of downtown New York City. That's so amazing. What the fuck else is
It's
she gonna
Macaulay
draw? She's a
Culkin.
goddamn gorilla.
It's Macaulay Culkin stuck in the gorilla suit.
Oh my gosh, that'd be
Downtown New
amazing.
York.
Just find out that he's actually secretly the actor behind the gorilla of Amy.
Oh, his best role.
But
Uh,
Amy is also imagining of a spooky kind of temple that will foreshadow events that will come. And the most important
ooh.
part about this convention is that it introduces the star of the movie, Tim Curry,
Oh
who's
yeah.
got some. He's the guy that believes in the all the mystery stuff. He's got his little gold ring and his leather bound journal, and he looks kind of like Indiana Jones,
He kind
but
of does. He looks like
a
those
little
weird
sassier
uncle.
because he's just like he's
Yeah,
got
he
his
is. Yeah.
neckerchief.
Neck. Yeah. I forget what that's called, but he's got his like little tiny scarf
Ascot,
tied around his
ascot.
neck. Yeah, ascot, I think. He's got that like silk
Oh, it's amazing.
tied around his neck. And he's sitting in the audience watching this gorilla say stuff and the pictures that she's drawn, and you just see him like evilly take this ring out with like the eye symbol on it, and
He's
he
just like
looks at it,
caressing it.
and then he looks at the eye drawing, and then so us as the audience is like, wow, I wonder if he's a good or a bad guy. And then it cuts to his face, and he's like,
It's Tim Curry. He
evil,
can't look like
evil Tim face.
he can't help but make
Oh,
him look like dreadful. He always just looks like his eyebrows are always just so like pointy. He just constantly looks like
yeah,
he's a villain. He can't help himself. It's Tim Curry. And
he's
then
Tim. He plays
he
the
gives
best
his
villain
like
ever.
little grins. His Tim Curry grin. It's like, oh, Tim Curry, I think you're in
Watch
it for
out!
yourself. I think you have ulterior motives, Tim Curry.
Yeah, he plays such an innocent Romanian man.
Oh, his
Um,
accent is so wonderful.
it is. It's beautiful. And I guess so. Tim basically is wanting to pay for this trip to the Congos for Amy to
He's
go and discover her home,
He says he's a
basically.
philanthropist and that he's doing good
Philanthropist.
deeds around the world. My name is Tim Curry. Essentially his accent for the whole movie.
I must do good deeds around the world. Oh yeah, going into Russian.
You also like it's so hard to get that dash of Tim Curry in there too,
Oh yeah,
because his voice is just its own unique thing.
yes,
But then
it
you
is its own.
but then you stack the Eastern European accent on top of the Tim Curry accent. Oh, it's just, it's like
It's beautiful.
you can never. It's the closest thing to hearing someone like talk through like mud. It's just like it's like yeah, yeah, gorilla. When he says the word gorilla, it makes me lose my shit every time. Gorilla! Gorilla!
That's amazing.
Like
You
a
almost sound
mouthful
like
of peanut
Arnold.
butter. Yeah,
Oh,
it's amazing. Oh my god, if
gorilla.
Tim Curry and Arnold Schwarzenegger were in a movie together, holy shit, that would have been amazing. Those two
Very
voices.
the two opposite personalities,
Oh my
but their
god.
voices would be amazing
And they'd
together.
be like in a buddy cop movie together. Like that would be Tim Curry and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh my god, can you imagine Tim Curry as a cop?
Oh my god.
Like a police chief or something.
Well, he has to be
He's the
Arnold's
police chief.
partner.
But I would love it if he's
I
like the
would love him
police
as
chief and then Arnold is like his subordinate.
he gives him.
Has to
Yeah,
like
I could definitely see Tim Curry. Well, it would be really insane to see Tim Curry as a police chief, but it'd be hilarious.
but still, yeah, them as a buddy in a buddy cop movie would be
Oh
great. To see
god.
them sitting in the
It's
same
like,
police car and like Arnold is trying to give directions and Tim is going off about some tangent about
I
that
just want to
one
see them
time
like
in Romania.
like I just want to like see them try to like be in a serious scene together where it's like the crime scene where it's like, oh my god, she got her head blown off, and it's like, but it's like Tim Curry like delivering all this like dialogue about all these like harsh things that are happening, and it's just Arnold Schwarzenegger's like, yeah, we got to get to the bottom of this.
And
Like,
that's
I
all
don't know.
Arnold can say. We got to get to the bottom of this. Oh
We
no.
will catch their asses.
I've been doing too many French accents at work lately, so now I just keep slipping back into the French accent.
As it helps you learn more French.
No, but it just helps me make fun of my coworkers. Too like they thankfully they're okay with it. I usually
That's
make
good.
fun of them to them and they enjoy it.
That's good.
I don't
That's
know if
good.
that's better. Is that bad? I don't know. Maybe I'm a
Honest. It's
bad person.
honest. Maybe I'm a bad person. Oh, that's the worst thing you do in life, you know. That's pretty low on
They
the
make fun
terrible
of the
person
way I
list.
speak French, so I make fun of their accents when they speak English. So
That's
you know
allowed.
what?
It's fair
Two
game.
can play at that game.
We will.
Oh, wait. But trying to learn the French and stop making fun of my accent.
Well, just show them Tim Curry's voice, and they'll just, you know, you'll sound a lot better if you just keep playing Tim
Yeah,
Curry right
it's true.
beside you.
Actually, they did say it sounds like when I try to speak French, I have a mouthful of mud.
Hey,
So I'm like
Tim
one step
Curry and
closer to
you.
being Tim.
You're like French Canadian Tim Curry. When you
Curry.
speak French, maybe you sound like a Tim Curry. You just don't
Maybe.
know it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I'd
like
be
to
okay
French
with
people.
that.
So this is what you do. You learn French, you get into French TV, and then you could be like that Tim Curry role in French TV.
But I'm super unaware that my fame is clearly just because I talk weird.
Or you just don't care. Like, I don't know, Tim Curry, that guy doesn't seem to give a shit about anything. He's just going
No,
on
he's
doing
just
his
a
own thing. It's Tim
personality. He's
Curry.
like, you know what?
Like, there's that
You
whole
like
scene where he's just eating cake.
yes,
And it's amazing.
which we'll get there actually kind of soon. So I guess back to Congo. Um, so Tim Curry is like willing to fund this project, and Karen is like, "Hey, I want to come with you guys because I
Such a
have to
Karen.
find my freaking dude and also maybe diamonds, but I can't tell you that."
It's a
And
secret.
it's a
Everyone's got
secret.
their own agendas.
I used to be in the CIA, but I can't say that. I'll just pretend that I was never in the CIA and just be real badass for no reason.
Yeah,
That's
she's a
Karen.
PhD CIA operative.
Wow, so cool. And so they go on this plane, and Amy doesn't like Karen very much.
Ugly
which
gorilla, ugly lady. Let's just keep saying that.
okay, lady. And they're flying out to Uganda, and then they meet their wilderness guide, Monroe Kelly, who is Ernie Hudson, who
Yeah.
just speaks like he's a British man all the time.
Also kind of dressed up like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, he is. And then
A few
there's one point
characters.
where he looks like a Ghostbuster.
Yes. Oh my god. It's so funny.
Because he's wearing all beige, and then he's got like a backpack on, and then he's like holding
He's got a gun.
something.
He's got a gun. Yeah.
Guns. Okay,
So
but he's got that Ghostbuster stance with the backpack. I'm like, oh
oh
god,
yeah.
they do
Well,
this on purpose. They did this on purpose.
oh, I bet. It can't be a coincidence.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they meet Ernie Hudson, and they're basically warned that this place is very dangerous and shit's gonna happen. And then they're like immediately detained by Captain Wanta, the military
Oh
leader.
wow. I'm pretty sure they don't say his name in the movie at all.
No,
Captain
I don't think
Wanta.
Captain Wanta.
That
He's the
memorable
Willy Wonka
character.
of Africa. Willy Wonka. And they're all sitting down, and he's got this sesame cake that Tim Curry just constantly, he's just the only one eating it. It's like, don't mind if I do. Oh, blah, blah, blah.
Well,
Starts
because
eating the
he's
cake.
very insistent, Lord Wampa, about eating it. He's like, eat my cake, eat the cake, and then Tim Curry's the only one that actually starts eating.
He starts eating it, and then
He
Wanta's
doesn't
like,
stop.
stop eating my cake.
He just spits it out of
Okay.
his mouth, but he's eating it for like in the background. There's like a whole like conversation going on, but if you just watch Tim Curry, he's just like has it in front of his mouth. He's like nibbling it on it like a rodent, just like.
Yes, it's so funny.
Yeah,
I
then the
love the way
scene
he
just
eats
ends
it.
with him yelling at him about eating it. He just spits it out of his mouth.
Yeah, so he actually kicks out Tim Curry. He's like, get out of my sight. So
Yeah,
Tim
but
Curry
it takes him
leaves.
like 3 or 4 minutes before he gets like offended by his presence. Like it doesn't happen right
Yeah,
away,
well,
which is bizarre timing.
what happens is he has to tell the other, like, Eddie?
Oh my
Why did I
goodness.
forget his
Ernie
name?
Hudson and,
Ernie Hudson.
and
Eddie.
Laura
Fuck.
Linney, who Karen and
Eddie.
blah blah blah.
You had to tell Ernie Hudson and Karen about the about Tim Curry being not very trustworthy, and he doesn't have money and all this shit. And so Karen basically takes over the funding for the project, and she's got like this giant bag of money and just like bribes him.
CIA money,
Which is
yeah.
funny because like going through the actual, once again going through the Wikipedia page, it gives me more information than what is in the movie. Because I was like, oh, okay, I guess the Romania dude funded it, but then he actually didn't have money, so then Karen had to fund it, and then that's why they have all the like fancy CIA government shit, is because she has the big money.
I
Which
guess.
that was never explained. It was just kind of like,
Yeah. Well,
oh,
there's the part with like the Goonie, like the bad guy from the Goonies, one of the Fratelli brothers. He's like this random fast talking
right.
Italian New Yorker dude, and he's like, "I can get you stuff, guy." And they kind of like have this him and Laura Linney have this random conversation. It's like, oh, just get me all of this bullshit. And he's like, okay. And then like it just flashes to later in the movie. He's like, here's all your shit. You got all this stuff, and yeah, it's all ready to go. So peace. I'm out of the movie.
Bye, good luck, don't die.
Yeah, and he's just like, yep,
So
there you go.
random.
Just
Like they
somehow
don't.
within Africa, he was able to find a place that sells automated laser guided turrets.
Like, oh
You just
man,
find those in Africa.
so much stuff in this movie. Nothing is ever set up. Nothing is set up. It's just like stuff happens because she's an important lady, so she has connections. So stuff
Yeah.
just happens, and this guy is a wilderness explorer, so he just takes them to a place, and then I don't know. The guy wants diamonds for his communication
For
device,
satellites or
and
something. Yeah.
and
Money.
it's gonna change the world because it's a communication laser and it's gonna do stuff, except it only blows shit up, and I don't know why it would be revolutionary in any way except for that they say it is, and they need diamonds to
It's
power it because reasons.
it's way more useful. It's like a weapon. Why would you just sell it to like the
Why?
American government? It's like, hey, so I got this like diamond laser that can shoot satellites from in outer space. Like, do you want this? Do you think this might be useful? You like fire
And
a
oh,
laser beam across the planet. Like, bow.
and just so you know, it's only useful if you have diamonds, like these super rare diamonds that you can only find, and then if you get to the place with the diamonds, some gorillas will eat you.
So there's a high risk reward here. So we got these super laser diamonds, but you have to fight an army of super gorillas.
Watch
So,
out,
you know,
super gorillas gonna get you.
yeah, you don't
So
want to get killed by those dudes. They'll fuck you up.
so yeah, they've passed Willy Wonka, and
Yeah,
now they're
they're
going off further into
flying.
their expedition. Um,
And then there's a
they
really exciting flying scene where missiles get shot at their plane,
yeah,
and
that's
then
the next scene.
Ernie Hudson and Laura
So
Linney shoot flares into a green screen.
so what happens is they are trying to cross the Tanzania border to fly out on a plane or something. So they go on another
Yeah,
plane,
because that's where like
and
the civil war's happening and bad stuff's going down because like
bad
the
stuff
president
is
just got
happening.
assassinated.
And there's all these missiles that are shooting up at them, and there's like these intense scenes where like uh Laura Linney like
Intense.
kicks the door open, and she's got her gun, and she takes the gun and she shoots missiles
Her
down
flare gun.
out of the sky. So she's shooting
Yeah.
missiles from the plane, and then her and Ernie Hudson are both shooting down these missiles because apparently it works like that. But then there's
Yeah.
just too many of them, and so there's this big dramatic sequence where everyone has to get their parachutes, and now like so they all jump out of the plane, and then suddenly like all these bright red parachutes are floating through the sky, and the missiles just magically stop while they're in the sky. They don't see these giant red parachutes. That's cool.
They would
And then
definitely
when
just
they
get shot
land,
down.
when they
So
land,
hard.
the plane blows up because the missile got there.
But they waited until they were safely away from the
Yeah.
distance of the plane to
Oh, it's
blow
so
it up.
considerate of them.
Gotta be nice.
Yep. Yep.
They land in
So
the
they're on the
Congo.
now they're in the Congo jungle, and they pretty soon after discover a ghost tribe. Not ghosts, but the name of the tribe is the ghost
They
tribe
are
because they put
ghosts.
white chalk on their face and stuff.
They're
And
like very
they
like before technology, like living outside of any sort of modern day civilization. Like they're like Bushmen.
they look like, yeah, what a movie person would think of Bushmen in Africa
If
looks like.
anyone's looked at a National Geographics before, then you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah. But they're like the white powdery stuff, and they've got like some tribal looking paint on them, and they've got not very much clothes. Little
But
what are those
again, it
called?
doesn't matter because they're only in one scene of the movie.
Yeah, I don't
It
know.
doesn't matter.
They're just in here
They
for
just
this
do a
one
dance.
moment.
I'm pretty sure they just did it so that they could at least like say that, hey, we're filming a movie in Africa. We're actually showing some African
I know.
tradition. Look, we got this
It
scene.
was
It
super
was completely
unnecessary.
pointless. And the guy that they are chanting to wakes up, starts screaming gorilla, and then dies from fear.
Yeah, because this guy is recognized by Laura Linney as like someone that was on her fiance's team,
Yeah.
whatever,
Bruce Campbell.
and he's Bruce Campbell's team, and she's like, "Oh, what happened? Where's Bruce? Where's blah 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 blah?" And then Amy the gorilla walks in, and he's like,
Oh yeah.
"Oh my god, gorilla!" And then he dies.
Amy.
Yeah, and she's just this little ape. So, anyways, it's fine. So he dies.
He
And they're like, okay,
dies.
cool, that's a bad sign. He died
Yeah.
after seeing an ape. Um, yep. And then they decide to go water rafting. and they like start singing a song, and it's really
Oh, god
stupid.
damn it. Yeah, it's like the stupid ripoff of the Predator scene in the helicopter, but like so much dumber. I don't remember what song were they singing? California Dreaming?
Oh
Is
yeah,
that
they
it?
were. It was California Dreaming.
Like the scientist, yeah, and then like all of the African dudes start singing it too. It's like, of course, they all know fucking California Dreaming,
California Dreaming. It's like,
which is
why
wow,
that?
wow, that really pumps you up for the exciting scene that's about to come. We might as well just sing "Row, row, row your boat."
The guy's like, row, row, row your boat. And they all do like the thing where they start a little later. Row,
Row,
row, row your
yeah.
boat, row your boat, row, 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 row.
Oh god, they only say that one word over and over again. So that's the only word they know. Like shit. So it's
They're
like, oh
just
man,
doing
this
the raft like row, row,
row.
row, 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 row,
There's
row,
that.
row, row.
It's all on
I
row,
would go
row, row, row,
crazy.
row, 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 row.
One person in the middle, like, oh my god, get me the fuck out of here.
Just pop the boat.
Yeah, I don't want to be here anymore.
Death is better than
So
this.
they're going water rafting
Yeah.
and learn that Homolka in search
Who the hell's Homolka?
Homolka Tim Curry.
Tim Homolka. That's his name?
Homolka. Let me find
Homolka.
his full name.
It sounds like
Freaking weird.
a weird like coffee drink.
Oh.
Homolka. Jesus.
His full name is Herkimer Homolka.
Herkimer.
Yeah, Herkermer. Herkimer Homolka.
Homolka. Wow, what a name. Just rolls off the tongue.
Just rolls right off the tongue.
Oh,
So, anyways,
Homolka.
find out that Homolka in search of Zinj and
Oh,
its
yes.
fabled diamond mine believes that Amy's drawings suggest she has seen the mine and can lead them to it. So
Mm-hmm.
he's
Because she
exclaimed
drew an
this now.
eyeball.
Yeah, and everyone is just like, all right, on board, whatever, let's just follow Amy. So they let Amy lead the expedition for reasons.
Yeah, they're
And
like walking up a volcano, like, should we really doing this?
I was like, wow, you guys really latched onto that fast. You're just on board.
Yeah,
Because they
totally
had
find
no
it
other
there.
way to get there. They realized, oh shit, okay, well, we need to move the story somehow. Let's just get Amy to do it.
Sure.
And then
The
she
girl
does.
knows
She
where to
leads
go.
them. She leads them to the ruined camp and the ancient city ruins.
Oh my god! I will just say, I just realized that is a major plot point of the Godzilla vs King Kong movie.
Oh, really?
Is that they believe that King Kong was born in the center of the Earth, so they lead him to Antarctica, where they find a hole to the center of the Earth, and he just can navigate through the tunnel system to get to the center of the Earth because he has like gorilla sense because that's where he was born. So fucking that ripped
Sick.
off Congo.
Damn. Congo did it first. I would not say that Congo did it better, but they did it first.
They did it. Pioneers, trailblazers.
Gotta start somewhere. Somewhere. So yeah, she leads them there, and then they're walking around,
Shit
and
hits
like
the fan.
shit hits the fan, and some people get killed by some freaking gorillas.
Ooh. But it's like also shot in a really weird like slow-mo camera that's like cuts out like every 4 frames, and it's very like disorienting.
It's like they tried, like it could have been a cool action sequence, but they made it so slow, and they didn't shoot it with a slow mo camera, or like slow mo frames.
Cut frames out.
Well, there weren't enough frames. I'm gonna imagine they slowed it down so much because something didn't look good, and there weren't enough frames to slow it down, so they just kept it because that's what footage looks like if you slow it down and it's not like shot in slow-mo.
Oh yeah, because it was so disorienting. It kind of looked like that part of the intro of the X-Files when Mulder and Scully walk into the room.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that was also a 90s style, to be fair.
Oh damn,
so that might be part of it.
Yeah, maybe they're a big fan of the X-Files.
because that was a big trend in the 90s, especially with like weird supernatural shit. It was like, ooh, alien. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, what is it? Maybe it's an
What is it?
alien.
I don't know. We don't have enough frames to show you.
It's just
Sorry.
and they put like a really intense grain filter on it too, which makes it even more
Yeah,
confusing.
out of nowhere.
But it's the only time
Not,
they do it in the movie too, which is extra bizarre.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's even
it was
weirder.
out of nowhere. Like maybe if it was established as a style, but it never was.
Never comes back.
So I
It's
don't
just
know.
like, hey, we're just gonna try this. Fuck it.
Yep. So yeah, that they're in there. A few people die. There's a weird slow motion sequence, and everyone kind of like runs back to the camp. And
Oh.
then you discover that they've set this camp up to like
Yes.
the most insane setup I've ever
Yeah,
seen in any movie ever.
such a
And they brought all of
hardcore
this with
military
them to
setup.
the jungle. How? Like you didn't see any of them bring any of that shit. Like you
No,
saw
they don't
maybe a
set any.
few boxes of stuff are like parachuted down, but that's it. So maybe that's what they're like justifying
You
it with.
assume it's
But
like scientific equipment because that's the only thing you really see up to this point is like they're
yeah,
opening up a case and it's like, oh, it's laboratory equipment. Okay, so this all must just be like scientific shit. Nope, it's all hardcore military weapons. And we got like laser walls set up, and there's just like, it's so funny when the gorillas attack and they activate this like laser sensor wall that goes around the whole camp, and it's just like
yeah.
the whole camp's engulfed in blue laser beams, and then like these gorillas start jumping into the laser beams, and that activates these like motion turrets that start blowing them away. And
It's
it's
intense. There's so
It's
much happening.
hilarious. It's
And
just
there's
like,
like
whoa.
there's this shot where Laura McKinney has like it's a camera or no, it's a TV screen where she's like, gotta check the radar footage. They turn the TV on and then it just
Oh,
shows like a screen and it just shows
standing.
like two gorillas just standing on the screen. We're like, oh, they're still there. Just like, well, where are they? What is this footage from? Why are they just like it's a perfect image of a gorilla on her
Just standing
screen,
there. It's not doing
just
anything
standing there like,
aggressive.
oh,
It's just like,
hi. And
yeah,
so
yeah.
and
I
then
think
they
that was
come
supposed to
back
be like,
later and it's
that was supposed to be
gone.
like the moment in Aliens when like the motion sensor picks up all the aliens and it's like boo-doo-doo, boo-doo-doo, boo-doo, and like the sound gets faster because you see all these dots and you're like, oh shit, there's
Yeah.
tons of aliens coming. But in this, they're just like, oh, there's two gorillas standing there.
Shows an actual image of it. It takes out all there's no suspense in any of these scenes because
No,
it's like, oh, look at our cool equipment, and then you don't really see anything, and they're just like, oh, we're shooting a gorilla.
the gorillas are like pretty outmatched most of the time because you know like gorillas, as smart as they can be, they don't have guns, and so
Exactly.
one of the gorillas pushes a tree over and knocks over one of the sentries. That's like the biggest win the gorillas get.
That is, yeah. Yeah, it's that was funny too because they pushed over a tree and the guy's like, "They pushed over a tree." I was like, "Oh
Oh my
wow,
god!
congratulations on your observation skills.
Like you still have like
They are top
four
notch."
four sentry turrets that can just blow them away at any point. I
So
think you'll be
dumb.
fine. Maybe they can throw rocks at you.
Yeah. So that was the exciting evening of the
Yeah, that
first
was the
visit
big
to the
action set
ruins.
piece.
Yeah. Well, not quite. We're getting to the end, which
Well,
was the
oh yes,
most
the yeah.
actiony. Like I was trying to take notes for the end, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna scroll through it because it's so fucking chaotic. I don't know the hell even happened. Um, so they go back the next day, and um, they find hieroglyphs that show
Ooh.
the inhabitants um, specially bred the gray gorillas to protect and kill anyone looking to steal the diamonds, and they likely turned on their masters but still protect the mine. So there's these aggressive ass gorillas just hanging out here for no reason, and they've been bred to protect these diamonds.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
well, I could tell you this is kind of like one of the changes between like the book and the movie, which one of probably many, but like an important one that I found was that the scientist dude and Amy together actually figure out how to read the hieroglyphs. So you find out that Amy actually kind of knows how to read the language as well, and they figure out that there's like 3 commands that the humans use to control the monkeys, and Amy learns how to sign language them, which comes in handy later and makes a hell of a lot more sense for the end of the movie.
Oh my god, but they didn't put that in here. It
No,
wouldn't have
no,
been
like such a
it
simple
wouldn't have
scene to
been
add.
hard. It would
Like,
not have been hard to
Amy,
add.
no! Like, she could just, like, had a little throwaway line where she, like, knows or understands it. It would have made so much more sense for the end of the movie.
Oh my god. Yeah. So
But,
yeah, that's that happens, and so they find that, and then they are walking through the mine, and they discover this giant cavern that is
oh,
just full
oh,
of sparkly diamonds on the ground.
oh, yes. That's where Tim Curry is so excited to find his diamonds.
Yes, and then you see, and it's like this whole set. So it's like this, I don't know, like a orange kind of like rocky
Yeah.
set with holes in the wall, and the holes in the wall make me think of like the holes that spiders go into
Yes,
when
yeah,
they're
there's a
like cooking
shitload of
out.
holes.
Yeah, like it looks like if it was a very small rock or something,
Mhm.
spiders would live in there, but it's albino
It's a
apes.
bigger rock filled with albino apes.
Yeah,
There's so many albino apes just chilling in their little
exactly.
holes, just waiting for someone to touch a diamond, and then they'll freak out. They're just like,
Exactly. And basically, Tim Curry is super stoked and he's just being the stupid villain that's dumb, and he grabs all the diamonds and he's like, "Look at all the diamonds, you guys, look at the
wow, the
diamonds." And they're like,
diamonds.
maybe you shouldn't do that because look, there's all these gorillas coming out of their holes and they're watching us.
And they're all making
Maybe
like
you should
really
stop it.
aggressive like noises and stuff. You think you might notice that, like,
Exactly.
maybe don't forget.
And then Laura McKinney finds
Laura
or
Linney.
Laura Linney, Laura McKinney.
Laura McKinney.
I'm just combining Laura Linney with Karen, and it came up with Laura McKinney.
Her alter
I don't know.
ego.
Yes, but she finds her a dead fiance guy
Oh yes, Bruce
holding a
Campbell.
diamond.
Confirmed.
Finds, yeah, confirmed dead, but he's holding his diamond. So she's like, "Oh, there's a diamond in his hand."
But that doesn't make a
It's like,
lot of
oh,
sense because the last scene you see with Bruce Campbell, he's eating a chocolate bar and he's completely
yeah,
outside of the temple. So at some point when the gorilla murdered him, they either put a diamond in his hand or his last dying action was to just grab a diamond. I might as
yeah.
well.
I don't. It's not fully explained because
Nothing, yeah.
they don't show them until now, so you can kind of like assume maybe there was something else happening. But the thing with movies, when you don't show shit happen, it still has to logically make sense. You can't just
Yeah.
make the audience do a bunch of jumps in their brain to get there because we're not going to make that much effort. There still needs to be some clues to it, and there was not.
Exactly.
So
There
he's
was
just
no.
there, he's just lying there all dead and shit, and he's got a diamond in his hand, and she's like, "Well, it's a diamond," and she grabs it, she puts it in the laser, and then she's shooting at shit, and that's how everyone escapes.
The laser beams are so hilarious and amazing because she, like, up to this point there's like no real like technology jump like this, and it's just like the final scene of these apes that are about to overrun them. She just like swaths it across the room and it just cuts these gorillas into pieces.
Yep.
They
Oh
just get
yeah, it just cuts them
massacred.
up.
They get like exactly what you think a laser would do. They just get completely severed in half. It's just like brown, 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 just carving up albino ape after albino ape. It's worth watching the movie just to see the ending where all the albino apes get shot with the laser beam. It's
Oh my
quite
god.
wonderful. And then also there's a volcano going off at the same time,
Yeah.
and so now the whole ground is tearing apart and lava starts flowing into the albino gorilla like diamond mine cave, and these albino gorillas just burst into flames like they're covered in gasoline. As
Yeah.
soon as they touch lava, they just ignite. It's wonderful. It's so amazing. And the CG lava is the best that 1995 has to offer.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, I love that they just burst into flames. And like there's this really stupid sequence at the end where near the end where like the primatologist dude is like running but he's a little behind
Primatologist.
and the the like the ground because so much shit happens. So there's like an earthquake and there's a volcano erupting and so the earthquake is causing and the lava is like creating different pathways through the ground and the earth is shifting so the ground plates are at different levels and he didn't make it across this like jump in time before the lava was too wide to cross.
Oh
And so of
no.
course Karen and her freaking laser, she grabs her freaking laser beam and she cuts a tree down and then he runs across the tree and he's to safety because the laser beam is just so good for all
You
circumstances.
can lose a laser beam for everything. Also, Laura Linney has an amazing one-liner before she starts carving apart the apes, where it's like this is the latest in telecommunications. She,
Oh my god.
like
So
it doesn't make any
bad.
sense. It's like, what the fuck does that mean?
This is the latest in telecommunications.
Yeah, I'm teaching the communications.
That's so dumb. Oh yeah, and
It
then
was the most lame attempt at a one-liner I think I've ever heard in a movie. It's really bad. Laura Linney shouldn't deliver one-liners.
no. No, it was terrible. And at the end, before they leave, we'll get to that, but before they leave, she calls back Mr. Houston, Texas, and is like, look,
Yeah.
uh, so a bunch of
Who is
shit
rather
happened.
sweaty for an unknown reason.
So sweaty. And she basically figures out that, yeah, he didn't give a shit about his son or his team. He just wanted the fucking diamonds. So she's like, don't you remember at the beginning? I'm like, if I think that you're deceiving me, you will be sorry. And he's like, no, I mean, I care. And then she takes the laser and she shoots down a satellite. And then that's
She
the end, I guess,
fires
of
a
that.
laser from the ground of the earth into space and pinpoint hits a fucking satellite dish. That is like the greatest sharpshooter shot in history. Like, not to mention the strength and energy you would need for a laser beam to be that powerful would probably be astronomical. Like, you'd need to hook it up to like the East Coast power grid. Not just like her little hand, like my diamond makes it super powerful.
Yeah, I have the power of diamond, okay?
Yeah,
It
and
is
then
so powerful in the 90s.
and but somehow she can still fucking hit the satellite. She just fires it into the sky. Like, I don't think it's like on some sort of like scientific aiming tripod or anything that's like lining it up perfectly with the satellite. I'm pretty sure it's
I
just like,
think it is though.
oh, is it? Is it actually
I
on
think it's on a
something, or does she
computer
just
thing.
fire it?
On like a computer, she has it like lined up and she has it. Cuz she lines it up on the computer and then it's like
Okay.
shoot on the on the
Okay,
computer.
good. Okay. I
So
thought she just
there's that.
shot
It's
it.
not like she's just shooting with her arm, like her hand, like
Yeah, it's like,
boom.
I know where it
Yeah,
is. I could
I know
just,
where it is in the sky. Yeah.
yup. And she blows up
Oh
her,
yeah, and then there's the emotional scene with
oh,
Amy
with the
and she
fakest gorilla outfits you'll ever see.
fakest gorilla outfit, and she goes back to the other graybacks, which were previously assholes to her,
Silverbacks.
silverbacks.
Well, it's like the alpha guy who's like, yo, this is my territory. Now, Amy will just have to give birth to his kids. That's Amy's future.
Sounds great.
Yeah, Amy's going to other people. Yeah.
She's going to live with the gorillas,
But
and
sadly, she doesn't keep her signed language Stephen Hawking power glove. Amy
no,
doesn't need that anymore.
she don't need that power glove anymore.
No, she's her own independent
Yeah,
ape
it is
lady.
hilarious that they had the thought that she would be teaching sign language to other gorillas. Like the other gorillas give a shit about sign language. they don't want to communicate to humans. They just want to live their life.
The leap of logic to even think that like one gorilla that knew sign language could then explain the concept of sign language and then get these gorillas on board to do it, like to sit down and actually understand that what this one gorilla is teaching them is a language, and then to then be like, oh, okay, now let's sign language what we want to say to each other and then talk to people. Like there's just like so many parts in between each of those steps that are just so impractical. But it's like, yeah, it's fine. They'll just learn. It's like they're not
It's
people.
fine.
You're not gonna go to gorilla school.
Gorilla school. Yeah.
Let's go gorilla
It,
school. God damn.
yeah, it's a silly ending, but it's kind of like assumed that's. I assume that's what was going to happen from the beginning.
You didn't think that she
And
was
then
gonna learn how to teach them sign language.
that would be actually amazing if they followed through with that
Oh my
plan.
god.
But
Congo 2, she actually does teach them all. And it's called Congo 2, Amy's Revenge. And Amy's like trained all the albino gorillas to follow her. And she like just starts attacking African villages with her army of albino gorillas. And then the original
yeah,
doctor has to come back and like talk to Amy. That would be amazing.
that would be amazing. That should. All right. Oh, no, we keep making plans for movies as we're watching movies.
Right,
For
because the
sequels.
movies are so so terrible that you have to
It's
make
bad,
your own
but it's
entertainment.
very easy to make something better than what these are. And so the movie ends, and they, for some reason, have a hot air balloon.
Oh
Um,
yeah, shit.
and they fly off into the sky, and then that's when the credits roll
God
over
damn, yeah.
these beautiful shots of a hot air balloon.
And it's like, okay, so you're still again flying in an area where people are willing to shoot missiles at your plane. Now you're in a giant, extremely slow moving hot air balloon. Like it would be the most obvious thing and easiest thing to shoot down. Like one hole and that thing's fucked.
Would be the worst
That's okay.
idea.
That's part of Congo too. So their hot air balloon gets shot down, and Amy has to lead an army of albino gorillas to rescue the doctor, so that they don't get executed by some crazy rogue African government.
Yes, I
Yeah.
like it. That is way more interesting.
Right?
Just that premise alone. I mean, it does
Yeah.
sound kind of like a Planets of the Apes movie, but you know what? That's fine.
Yeah, anytime you get into the territory of a bunch of gorillas attacking humans, it's definitely you're gonna run that risk.
Similar when like one of them can talk and they're like teaching them things. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but our movie, the gorillas will have the laser beam, and they'll.
It's so different.
Yeah,
that
they
is
learned.
Way more advanced.
They learned how to use the laser beam after it got turned on them.
Yeah.
Gotta have the laser beam return. It's the most iconic part of the movie.
Exactly. That's
people
beautiful.
expect these things in the Congo sequel.
Yeah, I mean, they left a lot of questions unanswered and at the end of this. And I don't know if anyone felt like they needed the answer, but I feel like if we gave it to them, they would appreciate it.
for that deep, like below ground Congo fan base. That's the underground Congo fan base that's out there.
I'm very curious if there's any diehard Congo fans out there.
You know what? Give it a watch. It's got Tim Curry with his awesome accent.
There's got to be one or two. If my previous favorite movies are any indication, people can like anything.
This is true. If you could watch Superstar and Dracula Dead and loving it, then yeah, you've proven the fact that there has to be a Congo diehard fan out there that is thirsty for Congo 2. Amy's Revenge.
You'll get at least one very loyal viewer of Congo 2. So you know what?
Yeah.
We've got a Teen Witch remake on the way and Congo 2. Stay tuned.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Well, we'll be continuing our animal attack series next time on Casual Creeps, where we will be venturing into the jungle yet again.
Oh, can't wait.
Oh, stay tuned.
Till next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, podcast's over.
I don't want to be here anymore.